ready.
We are recording.
Okay. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Valerie Elliott. I'm the owner of Y-kiki Divers. And of course, I do want to wish everybody out there a very happy Valentine's Day. We're going to celebrate by boarding a plane, and I've got a group of us heading to Grenada. We're going to go see our two lovebirds, Andrew and Tiffany, in Grenada. Spend a week there, so we're looking forward to that. Let's see. I just wanted to provide a little bit of shop news before we get started with tonight's presentation. We have our We Own Winter contest. See, We Own Winter. Woohoo! I feel like that Bruno Mars thing going on. Contest, and Nick and Julia Atherton are going to be at Mermet this February, at least according to the calendar. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got them scheduled for February 21st and February 28th. So the idea is to have a host and a hostess at Mermet. So please, if you've got a dry suit or you're brave and can do it in a 7 mil, we're counting our hours, our minutes and hours underwater for We Own Winter. Yeah, we just got back from Iowa, Lake Okoboji. We did the Ice Hole Festival up there. It was hosted by a bunch of different dive shops, but mainly run by International Scuba out of Texas. Tremendous hosts, great gathering of folks. We had like 80 divers throughout the 4-day festival, and I got in a couple of dives. It was probably the coldest year we've ever had, so we earned our chops this year for sure. So plan on next year. It is a really glorious time, and you can say you've been under the ice. It's like 18 inches thick. And with a little triangle, and you swim underneath the ice. Watch your bubbles hit the top of the ice. It's pretty fun. Yeah. So, all right. So when We Own Winter dives, February 21st and 28th. Obviously, you can also earn your dry suit certification dives on those weekends. We also have on the calendar, if you're getting ready for rescue diver, there's a couple of prerequisites for that class. There's first aid, CPR, and using the AED and the emergency oxygen provider class. So the first aid and CPR portion is under the umbrella emergency first responder, and then we have an oxygen provider class that we sort of pair in with it. That is being offered March 2nd and 3rd. Again, if you're so that might be something to get, checked off your list this winter, so that when the dive season opens up at the end of April, you're race ready to join us for June rescue dives. We also have Enriched Air Diver. Maybe you've got a dive vacation plan, kind of like my folks leaving with me this Saturday, a dive vacation plan to the Caribbean. Enriched Air is just a tool in the toolbox, and it's an e-learning format these days with about a 30-minute to 45-minute practical session here at the store. Those practical sessions are going to be offered February 25th and March 25th here at the store. Here's the thing about Enriched Air, though. I'm throwing darts at a dartboard. So if those dates don't work for you, but you would really like to earn your Enriched Air certification, you just got to give us a call, and we've got lots of people on staff that can make that happen for you. So if the 25th of February or March doesn't work for you, give us a call, please. I also want to make mention that we've got the spring break coming up. It's not going to be the same dates for everybody, but just in case it is the right dates for you, a loved one, family member, grandkids, we are offering the SEAL Team program as a spring break camp at the Clayton Center. Those dates are March 16th through the 20th, and that's actually coming up fast and furious. You got to go to the Clayton Center website to sign up. But there is space available for that. It's going to be at the Clayton Center on 50 Gay Avenue. So an indoor heated pool. All right. So something fun for spring break. For the Valentine's Day, I just wanted to, if you're looking for some ideas, maybe you looked up and you didn't realize that Valentine's Day is Saturday. We've got a couple of really nice products. Of course, Space Fish Army.
You talking to Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny. Yeah, I'm leaving him on Valentine's Day. What does that say, right? We've got some Space Fish Army styles here. We've got lots of stock. So I love this one. This is a juvenile angelfish with a zipper in the front. For the gentlemen, we've got the lionfish. Nice, and it's a men's cut on the lion's fish. Some beautiful classics. This print here.
Coral kaleidoscope.
Coral kaleidoscope. I didn't even know the name, but Paul knows. And then this is mandala. This is a new pattern for them, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So, and we have shorts and pants and various tops, zippers, pullovers, the whole 9 yards. So you cannot go wrong with Space Fish Army. And then maybe pairing it with a little stream to sea product line. I think our best seller is the leave-in conditioner. I do not have much hair, so it doesn't, I don't need this product, but all my ladies with long hair say, or even the gentlemen these days, the leave-in conditioner is the bomb. All right, so we've got some of that. And then I just think the big blue lights are amazing. So this is a 1300 lumen light, and it's just the right size. And they've got some fun patterns and different colors, and I think would be a great gift item for somebody, a diver in your family. All right, so this is a 1300 lumen light, great product from Big Blue. Of course, there's dive computers. We've got Garmin's and Shearwaters. So if your budget's, a little more malleable, we'd be happy to show you all of those product lines as well. So real quick, let me go over travel. We've got, on my Banda trip, I've got a trip going to the Banda Sea, which is in Indonesia, and we're on the Dewi Nusantara, which is this absolutely stellar Indonesian liveaboard. The dates are April 9th through the 23rd. I have a friend, her mom's not doing very well, and so she is opting to bow out of the trip, and she's trying to find someone to take her spot. So I have a female share, and I also have a male share still open on the April 9th through 23rd, which is coming up fast and furious, but every now and then there's somebody that can fill a last-minute spot. This trip's been sold out for a year. So those are two opportunities if you're available to go. Girls trip. I just released the group air seats. That doesn't mean I still have space. I've got 5 spaces still left. I just got to check airfare. So we buy published airfare. So don't hesitate if you hadn't made a decision and you still want to go on girls trip. My ladies, it's June 6th through the 13th. Give me a call. And then let's see here. I've got Azores. On the Azores trip, this is 2 trips. We're going to do Azores August 25th through September 5th. Right, Mike?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And then we're going to go to Portugal September 5th through the 13th. After the shakeout with all of this, I have 4 spots available. All right, so 4 spots, two cabins are still available for the Azores or Portugal package. And Belize, that's the one going to Blackbird Cay in August 29th through September 5th. I reserved the entire resort, and we have 1 female share left. So call me if you're interested. That does leave my Cozumel trip wide open, October 24th through the 31st. The way Halloween falls this year, we're sort of going to be sliding into Halloween at the very end. But great property. You can't beat Cozumel diving, and a good trip that we do annually. So let's see here. I think that's probably enough for right now. I'm trying hard to get some of those 27 and 28 dates. I got the dates posted, but not the flyers. So there's just not enough hours in the day. So I think with that, is there anything I might have missed? Anything that you can think of?
Nope.
Yep, I think we've covered everything. Okay, so with that, I'd love to introduce tonight's speakers. I have been talking with Jim and Pat Stayer for about a year, but they're busy traveling, and I was very glad when they called up and said they could join us tonight. The Stayers are Explorer Club Fellows and Boston Sea Rover Associate members, and they're well-known underwater filmmakers dedicated to sharing shipwrecks, animal behavior, and remote dive destinations around the world. Jim and Pat have discovered several historic shipwrecks, co-authored 3 books, produced hundreds of multimedia presentations, and their footage has appeared on numerous major networks worldwide. They have directed several evening film festivals and are popular presenters around North America, and I'm so lucky that they're here tonight. So the couple has been diving for 49 years and ran a charter boat on the Great Lakes. Jim is a USCG captain, and Pat is, of course, in the Women Divers Hall of Fame. Together, they've led an amazing life and adventure, and they are joining us tonight. So please, everyone here, please join me in welcoming Jim and Pat Stayer tonight.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we're just getting over a cold here in Michigan, so with our weather and everything, we really get quite lucky. For a retirement job, we do promotional videos for dive resorts and liveaboards, and that gets us to the Coral Triangle at least 2 or 3 times a year. And we like to spend most of our time either in Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, or the Philippines. Go ahead.
So I did hear people talking about Papua New Guinea, and Papua New Guinea we don't find it too difficult to get there. We fly into Port Moresby. We've done it on frequent flyer miles the last couple of years. And from Port Moresby, we can fly out to Ving. And that's where this program comes from, where we have dove a lot of World War II planes, but they also have really great house reefs and some incredible dives there. We recently did a sub expedition. You want to?
Yeah, we've been trying for about 5 years to get out, and COVID put a little dent in that. But there's one World War II midget Japanese submarine that's in diveable depths, and you have to go about 50 miles across the ocean to get to where it is, and you can only do it when the trade winds are switching. And it was really good. We're going to do a program on that shortly. We do give programs to a lot of the dive shows and stuff, and that's the next one we're going to be making.
Well, so this trip, when we first met this gentleman, he says to us, "What do you think about making your checkout dive on a plane?" And we said, "Well, that's fine." He says, "Well, I've got guests coming tomorrow, and I can't take them because it's at
42 feet.
42 feet, and I don't feel comfortable taking them. So what do you think about doing your checkout dive at 142 feet?" And we said, "Great." and that was our introductions to the planes.
So we'll do that, and we can take all kinds of questions afterwards. So with that, go ahead and start the video. Papua New Guinea is known for its diversity of marine life. It makes up the eastern edge of the Coral Triangle and has some of the most amazing diving in the world.
But few know it's home to many World War II plane wrecks. The islands of New Britain and New Ireland host many of these dive sites. We traveled to Cave Ving on the northern corner of New Ireland and head out to Lessanong Island Resort, which is our host and base of operations.
So how did this airplane wrecks get there? Kavieng was occupied by Japanese forces, and obviously the Allied forces, American and Australians, and also New Zealand, bombed and attacked heavily the Kavieng positions, airports in Kavieng. There were 3 airports during the war. In all these aerial fights before, a lot of the aircrafts were shot down and lots of people were unfortunately killed. But the good side on that whole thing is, for us nowadays, we do have some beautiful wrecks to dive.
The Allied forces gave Japanese planes nicknames. The men's names were used for fighters, and the women's names were used for bombers and transport planes. This biplane is a Mitsubishi F-1M floatplane, primarily used on reconnaissance. It could be catapulted off ships, or it could take off and land on the water. One of the Japanese seaplane bases was located on Kavieng. Our first dive is on one of these biplanes called a Pete.
Deep Pete lies in 140 feet of water. She is mostly intact except for her big pontoon is missing and her tail is broken off and lies in the sand nearby. Most of the float planes are found upside down due to the air trapped in their pontoons as they sink. This wreck has become an oasis of life on the somewhat barren sandy bottom. It has attracted abundance of marine life. Many different schools of fish take refuge under its wings.
We investigate the prop and engines, which could propel the plane at a maximum speed of 230 miles per hour. Mounted on the bottom of the wings were machine guns and small floats. Incidentally, the wingspans are 36 feet long, whereas the length of the plane was 31 feet long. Our bottom time grows short, and reluctantly, we have to leave this amazing plane.
Just off the shore of Kavieng's seaplane base lies another Pete, which sank close to its moorings. We come down on its massive pontoon, allowing us to realize that it too is upside down. The locals call her Shallow Pete, even though she lies in 60 feet of water. Like the Deep Pete, it too is remarkably intact. However, the port wing was damaged by a ship's anchor in the past. Unlike the Deep Pete, the pontoon on the Shallow Pete is still intact.
Coming over the side of the pontoon, we see the lower starboard wing. Ducking under the wing, we find the cross struts, which added support to the upper and lower wings. The openings in the fuselage and engine provide shelter for several fish. The Pete had a crew of 2 with the pilot sitting in the front seat. We take time to check out the cockpits. But with the plane upside down, it makes it more of a challenge.
The PBY Catalina took off from a ball and landed at Noosa Island to take on fuel before departing on a bombing run to Truck Lagoon. While taking off, a swell hit one of the port bombs, causing it to explode, killing everyone on board. The Catalina wreck now lies in 66 feet of water near the entrance to Kavieng's harbor. The predominant features are the engines and starboard wing. The Catalina was part of the Royal Australian Air Force Fleet and was developed as a long-range patrol bomber. In World War II, they were often used to rescue downed airmen because of their ability to land and take off from the water quickly.
After the war, they used this area as a dumping ground for ammunition and landmines. Machine guns and cannons can also be found laying in the sand. Other parts of the wreck are scattered along the seabed. Though the structures do not rise high up off the bottom, they make an excellent place for fish to gather.
The next plane to explore is the Cape, which is a Nakajima B-5N, a standard carrier-based torpedo bomber. It was also occasionally used as a land-based bomber. Kates were used in the attack on Pearl Harbor. The Kates carried a crew of 3, a pilot, a navigator bombardier, a radio operator who also served as a gunner. Not a single one of these 1,150 production B-5N survived World War II intact. Today, only 2 partial recovered Kates are known to exist in museums. The Japanese wanted to keep the Kates light to enhance its performance, so it was not given much armor to protect the crew or the fuel tanks. They had a range of 1,237 miles.
We explore the seating compartments. The pilot sat up in the front. Followed by the navigator. The gunner sat in the back facing towards the tail where the machine gun was mounted. The tail is missing, and we did not find it near the wreck. In the navigator area, we find a series of small compartments possibly used to hold charts. We take one last look at the cockpit and engine before we have to leave. Relishing in the fact we had an opportunity to dive this rare plane.
The stubborn Helion was one of a group of low-level bomber B-25s attacked Kavieng, and during one of these low-level attacks the aircraft in front managed to hit the fuel dump. The debris that was blown up unfortunately hit the stubborn Helion and damaged that aircraft badly enough that they had to pull out from the attack, and about 10 miles out of Kavieng, close to Lisenong, the aircraft hit the water. One of the crew members unfortunately died in this crash, but the other 5 managed to get out alive, with several guys having severe injuries. Been hiding on one island, at night paddled to another island, and the day after they got rescued by a Catalina flying boat. So I think this is an absolutely amazing story that these young people, they were all in their early 20s, if that old, had to endure endure this, and they managed to survive. And yeah.
The B-25, also called the Mitchell, was a twin-engine U.S. bomber. It was one of the most heavily armed planes of World War II. Just in front of the tail is a turret with a pair of .50 caliber machine guns. As we investigate this area, we see the seat below where the operator would sit. Forward of the turret is a cutout area just behind the radio mast. This is where the life raft was deployed from. This raft was used by the crew as the plane sank. The crew made it to a nearby crocodile-infested island covered with thick mangroves. The next night, they used the raft again to relocate to another island.
On impact, both engines broke free of the wings. The fuselage broke just in front of the bomb bay. The nose is severely bent towards the port wing. As we swim along the port wing, we are amazed at the amount of life that resides on and below the wing structure. From the wing, we head out to the broken off nose, where we find Captain Michael Huchella's pilot's chair. As the plane hit the water, the chair went through the windshield and started to pull him down. He freed himself, inflated his Mae West, and came up right next to the port wing. From there, he got on the raft as the plane sank.
The helm and controls, though they are covered with marine life, are still visible. There is a large amount of debris at the site of where the nose is ripped. Schools of fish inhabit this area. Heading back to the fuselage, we find a large battery and radio equipment above the bomb bay. Continuing along the fuselage, just behind the starboard wing, we notice a machine gun protruding out of the side. It is fun to dive this historical plane wreck with such a remarkable story.
After several great dives, we leave caving to head for New Britain Island. Our host for this portion of the trip will be the Winlandy Plantation Resort.
We have 2 aircraft in the jungle here, side by side, that made emergency landings in 1944 under stressful situations. So there was a big air war over Papua New Guinea during World War II, and we still see the remains of that conflict today. We have a B-25 just up the road here, and it was a result of that particular conflict. The B-25 was captained by Captain Wolfendale. It was the 13th Air Force based in the Solomons, and he was attacking enemy positions on the south coast and ran into mechanical trouble, had some very serious problem, and he realised he would be very endangered to try to go back over the Solomon Sea, back to the Solomon Islands, and his shortest route to friendly territory was where he landed at Talisea. Captain Wolfendale landed it, but once in, they couldn't get out, so there it remained, and it was in Allied territory at that stage in September 1944. Well, it's got a cannon in the front. General Kenny had a gunner called Pappy Gunn who did a lot of his specialty armaments on aircraft, and the cannon that's installed in this particular aircraft is used for sinking ships.
Newest Allied aerial development, B-25 bombers equipped with 75mm cannon. Now, United States warplanes have been built to absorb the terrific recoil of such a gun. And 75mm cannon, firing from the sky, can and have sunk a destroyer.
It was very successful in the job it was created to do. Captain Wolfendale made that decision. Then the other aircraft that is there, that landed actually in the same month, is a Lockheed Ventura, and that was Flight Lieutenant Thomas, who was the captain of that aircraft. It's actually an American built, and it was given to the New Zealand military for fighting up here, just outside of Rabaul. It got hit by ground fire, lost an engine, and only had one engine to try and get out of a very sticky situation. The pilot rode the thermals down from Rabaul down to here, which is really quite a long way, be over 200 miles. So he'd see a big cloud and he'd come close to it and get uplift, and then he'd lose his altitude and then find another cloud and do the same thing. So he managed to get to this strip and make a successful landing. Flight Lieutenant Thomas lived a full life. He's passed on, but his family came back in recent years. There's still aircraft hidden by the jungle or just eaten up by the jungle and rainforest. But we continue to look for them.
The Zeros were Mitsubishi's A6Ms, and the Allies called them Zeeks. Zeeks, along with Kates, were used to attack Pearl Harbor. Max Benjamin first dove the Zero in 2001 and found it in pristine condition. He learned about the plane from a local villager who thought it was a recent crash from the nearby airport. Once the serial numbers were discovered, they were able to link the plane to a Zero that went missing on December 26, 1944, and its pilot, Tomiharu Honda.
Several fish make this plane their home. As we hover above the tail, we enjoy the amazing view of this intact fighter. The canopy was slid back, allowing easy access to the cockpit. Max found the throttle controls in the off position, indicating the plane had run out of gas and made a soft landing. The pilot climbed out on the wing and swam to shore, as seen by the local villagers. He then disappeared into the jungle, never to be seen again. Many people dive shipwrecks, but if you ever want to see incredible plane wrecks, Papua New Guinea is the place to go.
Thanks.
Okay.
Any questions?
Uh,
Hold on, let me turn on my lights just a second. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, where did you guys? Are these the plane wrecks? Are these often dived, or did you guys request to go see them?
We requested it to see them. We like shipwrecks, and they do have a few shipwrecks there that we dove, and we like marine life, animal behavior, and planes especially.
Well, we did start out in shipwrecks, so this was kind of a natural for us to do. But yeah, if you go out to caving, you can dive them. You know,
And
I
request
mean, they're easily accessible.
I saw all the beautiful fishes, right? I mean, you've got all of the, the traditional, Indonesian fishes that you would see.
Yep.
Still there, right? And on those wrecks. It's pretty cool.
And their house reef, there were so many species of fish in their house reef. It was just amazing.
And there's more types of clownfish in that area than anywhere else on Earth.
Yep.
For hours, fortunately.
Yeah, there's
Got a question?
Well, a couple maybe, but first of all, when you guys fly to PNG, how do you get to Port Moresby?
a lot of times from Australia.
Yeah, we had to go through Cairns when we were there, but that was
Yep.
back in the late 90s.
Oh, we went through Cairns this spring, and we've done Melbourne, Sydney. It depends which way we can get there the easiest.
Yeah, it depends
Okay.
on which way our frequent flyer miles take us. But
Okay. Okay, and then I know that the wrecks you were featuring in this video were in the Kaving region and Great, New Britain area.
Yes.
yeah,
Have you
New Orleans.
dived the Blackjack B-17 off Cape Vogel?
They've been trying to get us on it. We're just having trouble. We get booked up, unfortunately, a little ahead
Yeah.
of time. And for 2 years, they've been trying to get us on it.
So
Yeah.
so the tourist, because we've done like the Fabrina and the Walindi and caving, there are 2 more resorts out there that would complete the Papua New Guinea's tourism people that work in the tourism booth. And we'd like to get a loop for all of them so that they can play it. Because right now they don't want to play one that just has, half of them.
Of course.
So we've been trying to work with the tourist bureau, but we couldn't travel for 2 years because his mother was 100 and I was home. I mean, we were taking, because I kind of provided the medical, so we were taking care of her. And so all of a sudden, all those places that we said we would get to, we made 4 trips overseas this year. And we do a lot of filming for a guy in Indonesia who just got his brand new
Finisi,
Panisi.
yeah.
So this
90% of our diving is done in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Is the water temperature is 86 to 87. It beats our diving out here, and I haven't put on the dry suit in a couple of years.
Although we just got back from Yap in December, and that was great. That was fun too. So
You know what? My business manager, Bruce, who a lot of folks online will remember, Bruce Tanner, who's doing well. He's very happy and retired. But Yap and the World War II wrecks of Solomons and everything, that's what floated his boat. And so he would always lead the trips to Palau and then of course Yap. They would always do this little thing on Yap, and I still have not been to Yap yet. So
That's too bad.
I know.
I mean, we were at a cleaning station in maybe 20 feet of water at the deepest, probably. And they were just flying over our heads. I mean, you could reach out and touch them, and they don't mind that you're there. I mean, we got 90 minutes, and we were with them the whole entire time. What caused me to end my dive is out of battery, out of camera battery. It's like, not just out of battery. Yeah, I don't think you could run out of air there. It was so shallow, but it was fantastic.
There's a zero in Yap too. That's in about 25 feet of water.
And there was a plane in Yap. I couldn't dive one day, and so we moved a plane from a dump that was being overrun, and they raised it, and I was just part of the filming group, and we raised it and put it right at the tourist information center. We did spend a day or two looking for another plane, but we didn't have any luck. But I mean,
We like the South Pacific is where we like to be.
History, right? I mean, so when we've been blessed to do several trips on the Y-kiki. So when I was watching your footage, of course, it's in that same area. It reminds me of that, and I love the villagers come out and you get to visit, see their handicraft work. A lot of times, their villages, the hospitality is they're welcoming. They want to show you their way of life, and they're very proud. And then the history, of course, with all of the wrecks. For somebody like me, maybe you read about World War II in books and stuff like that. It's got a generational gap. But to see that stuff underwater and the wrecks themselves brings it all to life. So of course you want to read more and hear those stories. And then I think when I was watching your footage of the airplanes, especially knowing the pilots specifically, right? That's interesting, to hear their stories and their experiences as young men. Like they were saying, what a terrifying experience they must have gone through,
And the people in Papua New Guinea, especially in New Ireland, 80% of the population does not have electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went and we took our drone and we went from sea level to the top of the volcano and we filmed the crater. And then we went to visit a local village nearby, and Jim showed him the footage of the drone, and I mean of the crater, and they were just awed because they'd never gone up there. And then we flew the drone over their village, and the kids just about suffocated him. They were all watching. They had so much fun. But they all have they live in stilt houses with a fireplace underneath them. That's how they cook. And agriculture is a major form of food. They grow their own food, and the kids spear their fish. And to live such a simple life, and they seem so happy. And they were just so overwhelmed to have us there in the village. And this one girl kept holding Jim's hand and kept rubbing his arm and holding his hand. And finally he asked his her mother, why is she rubbing my hand? And she kind of embarrassed and said, she's trying to rub the white off. You know, because Papua New Guinea, they put white to dance, and we are so white.
Underneath there.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it's the people are just incredible
I agree
there.
with you.
Simple life.
Yeah. Do they have the solar panels for like I thought was funny and
No.
nothing like that. So in the
No.
Solomons, you'd visit the villages and they'd have a little solar panel and then a cell phone attached to it, right?
Right. At the resort, at like
They would come to the resort and charge them.
yeah, Lindy, they would all come there and charge their phones. And then they would, you know, they would be good for the night and they'd come back and they'd all charge them. And in caving too.
So just out of curiosity, of course, you know, my career, if you will, has been since, 2002 or so onward. And Papua New Guinea was very popular early on, but it's sort of not been, it's not really on the list anymore. And I think it's because of a little bit of the civil unrest and that sort of thing. Do you guys feel fearful when you guys go to Papua New Guinea?
No, we've been told, Port Moresby, you don't want to walk around at night.
Sure.
But other than that, you get away from that, and it's
I think I will probably wouldn't book a flight where I had to overnight in Port Moresby.
I see.
But like in Walindi, which is the where the one on New Britain is, they take very good care of their locals.
Mm-hmm.
They have built a primary and a secondary school. Anybody that's ill, they come to them, they take care of them. So it's extremely friendly. And then in Lusenong, it's almost the same thing where anytime their hospital is only open 3 or 4 days a week. It's closed on the weekend. So they always go to Dimar and his wife, Ange, and they used to go to Ange, and they provide like the medical care. They provide the
medicines.
the medicines. They provide the employment of the area. And during the pandemic, they fed all of the locals because nobody lives on their island except for them. They'll have a night guy that walks around, makes sure the generator and everything works. So when you're on the island, it can just be you and the owners of the island, and you have the whole island to yourself. And it's a barefoot island. They rake the paths, so you're walking on soft sand, so you don't ever put shoes on. And it's just very peaceful, but they take care of the villages, the people who feed in there. They're very much part of the community. So yeah, you feel very, very safe.
Yeah, because you guys are representative of the Papua New Guinea, the tourism side, so all properties, right? And so you've been to most. You said most of the properties.
We've only been to half of the ones that offer diving.
I see.
We have been offered trips to the others, but we have to make it so we get the flights between them and schedule them. And it's kind of getting the tourism on board right now.
We were in Indonesia for 28 days, September to beginning of October of this fall. And that's getting to be too long a trip for us. I like 14 to 16 days. And
where are you guys based out of now?
Our world headquarters here is in Michigan on the bottom of Lake Huron, Lexington. It's a town of 500 people.
How did you guys get into this business?
Well, we found some shipwrecks in Lake Huron. So we ran a charter boat. Originally, he ran a fishing charter boat.
Ah, yeah.
And then we found some shipwrecks. And so we started running a dive charter boat. And then we'd go to Dima and we would take videos of what we shot and shows we shot up with the history and doing the documentaries up here. And one guy says, I really want you to go over to Micronesia. and Indonesia and start filming for me over there. So he arranged for us to have a free trip over there and do some filming. And that was
No, it's word of mouth. We don't, we look at the resorts and they've got to have a good reputation for us to go shoot.
Sure.
They've got to treat their people well and they don't damage things and do that. And if we get 3 times a year is pretty good. 4 is getting to be a lot, but we've, yeah, you said it was 49. We're going on 51 years of diving together.
51 years. That's amazing. Yeah.
So,
Do we have any questions out on the
I didn't see any on chat.
on the chat real quick?
Nope.
Now, Cindy, I know you're out there, but I don't know if you've got access to your microphone, but I know that you've been to Papua New Guinea. Where did you stay? Are you available?
Yeah, so I was at went to Twali at
Okay.
Milton Bay, so just across from St. Britain and Ireland there.
yeah,
yeah.
yes, we know it. They've been through 3 years trying to get us there.
Yeah. So that will be the next place we go.
They're really nice people.
Because we have really tried to work with this one woman, and can't wait to go there. So we're looking forward to
And
it.
a lot of the places we do spend some time, we'll spend a day, especially if it's our day to off gas and stuff before we leave, and go into the schools and talk to the
Yeah.
students.
So in December we were teaching in a high school in Yap.
That's awesome.
And in Kimby, which is in New Britain, we taught at the international school, and we taught.
They were the only ones that had electricity.
And we taught like a lower elementary. We did a full group seminar. We taught a 3rd grade. We taught advanced biology, and then
The whole school.
school assembly.
That's pretty
So
cool, you
we
guys. Where's
usually
your next
do some
adventure? What do you
teaching,
guys
so.
have planned in 2026?
We're taking our grandkids and our daughter to on the new liveaboard. We're going to be doing a new area.
Northeast of Rajan Pond.
Yes.
We're gonna try out a new area. We were there this last fall. Brand new boat that he took out and
We're on the maiden voyage.
Yeah.
That one.
and tried a new area, and now we're going back, and he's just his boat is filling up, and it's the newest dive boat in Indonesia.
What's the name of that one?
It's called the Blue Panisi, Blue Dream Panisi.
Okay.
And
He doesn't do a lot of advertising yet,
but he does have some of it. He has some of the shots we did on it.
on his website.
And
yeah.
so we're going to spend a week on that. Well, we're going to go to Bali first and get our grandkids on the Liberty ship and the Japanese ship there, and do the underwater temples maybe, and some offshore diving off of Bali. Do the water palace, the King's Water Palace with them, and then we're going to jump on the boat.
Very nice.
So it'll be fun.
Excellent, excellent. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm like, oh, I got to look at these a little closer. So,
Do you need any more grandkids? Are you taking applications?
Usually people ask us if we need somebody to carry our gear.
Sure.
No, I just want to be a grandkid.
He doesn't want to carry gear.
In Bali, the women do the work, and
Oh.
they charge you $1 a day, and they carry both of our gear and tanks, and you've got to use them because
That's their livelihood.
Yeah.
that's how they book it, and you're in trouble if you don't use them.
Yeah.
Amen.
For that
that
amount.
sounds like the
So
best
I got a
buck I've
picture
ever
of
spent.
one, and
Yeah.
if you can carry what she does and look like her, and then you can come carry our gear.
We don't have to look like it.
I love that. I love that. All right, everybody. Do we have any more questions for these two?
Yeah, this is Doug. I do have a question about,
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what camera gear you have and maybe even some of your editing tools?
Well, Pat's the chief editor. We're switching some of our gear out right now. camera gear, we use video camcorders. And for the last few years, there's less and less people making housings. Our guy from Gates, we started with Elwood, and then he sold out, and they can make more money on one camera for a movie or television than they can selling 20 or 30 to consumers.
Yeah.
So we're constantly evolving. We use big blue lights. We're switching right now camera gear, so I can't really. I got some used stuff I can sell you, but
I think the key is the lens. If you can get a good lens that you can
zoom through,
that you can shoot macro, the gear we're switching out of, I was shooting hairy shrimp and a manta came over.
Oh.
And I was able to pull back and get the manta over top of us.
Yeah.
So it was good, but we're just moving.
We're checking out right now, and Pat's the chief editor. I do some of the rough stuff, and then she cleans it all up.
So what are your questions about editing?
Oh, just what editing tool you use, or using?
Final Cut. I use Final Cut.
We're Mac people.
And the reason is we used to do workshops with Final Cut, and so it's second nature for me. So I don't want a new learning curve.
And you do the color correction then?
Yes.
In the tool.
Final Cut, now the newest version has some really good color correction.
Oh, really?
I like their color. It's called a color adjustment. Very similar to what you would use editing a picture on your iPhone. Same kind of, almost the same categories and everything.
Like color wheels, or do you have to?
Yeah, if the color wheels are a little more difficult than this color adjustment, because in the color adjustment you can control the tint and the different colors of the your highlights, your midtones, and your shadows. So you can put one type of like a red tint on your shadows, which gives you more of a 3D imagery, and you can kind of put a little blue on your highlights, which makes it a little brighter. So it gives you a lot more flexibility.
We found out that we really liked the Canon camcorders for doing color compared to Sony now, but we can't find a housing for what we want.
Yeah, our favorite one was great big ones because they had one chip for each color.
It was Amphibico,
and
the 3-chip Sony.
And they were huge, but they were really true color. The problem with cameras nowadays is your eye sees better green. So all these cameras favor the green. But when you go underwater, it means you've got a green and a purple level. And if you try to get rid of the green, everything comes purple.
Wow.
And so that's what you're going to be fighting with, because all cameras seem to tend towards that green.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, it's refreshing to hear that even the folks that have a lot more experience than I struggle with some of this stuff. It's hard.
Yeah.
People can get really good video right now from the GoPros and little cameras. They do a really good job.
They have improved them immensely, haven't they? I just shoot, and now I just shoot with GoPro without any filters, and then I run it through just even iMovie or whatever comes on the Mac, right? And it does it does a decent job. It's I tell Sean, who's here at my store, I'm like, it's solid social media, worthy, right? Not wall hanger material, just social media worthy, So
if you put backscatter's got a really good
Yes.
lens that really can, but you have to have a housing that the lens will work on.
Sure.
But it has a really good lens for an for a GoPro.
Yeah, Backscatter's done really remarkable too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So
All right, you two.
Thanks.
Is there any other questions out there? I've still got 19 folks online. This is great.
you can tell
Yeah.
both of our website. So.
Yeah, please do.
Go ahead.
It's just outoftheblueproductions.net.
Excellent.
But it doesn't have any of our new dives in it because I have never.
We haven't had time. We've been
We got all those
gone.
grandbabies, you know?
This is the time of year that we start editing for. We'll be in Boston. A few of the there's being less and less shows, and up till about 3 years ago, we'd go from Boston to L.A. up to Edmonton down to Cabo and do presentations around. And now since COVID, we do a lot of these.
You do a lot of these, yeah. Actually, we've done. This is sort of where I discovered all of this. So I just start reaching out, and I just can't thank you both enough for taking time out of your evening to share what you do and your imagery with my folks here. We're Midwesterners. Right, and we love talking scuba diving, especially in the winter months when it's chilly.
Yeah.
So you guys came at a good time.
It sounds like you do a lot of trips, which is nice to hear.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed, and so, but I don't have a Papua New Guinea trip, so I think I need to rectify that.
Yes.
Yep. So, all right, everybody, please join me tonight,
see
and
ya.
let's give these guys
Bye.
a big round of applause. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah. All right. Good night, you
All
two.
right.
Enjoy
Bye.
your evening.
See you guys. Thanks.
See you underwater
Bye.
sometime.
Okay, that'd be great.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.